and this is again Alexander Semenenko from Voronezh, and I continue the video presentation of my first two volumes of my RVedic papers dedicated to the problem of Ashva and Hari in Rigveda. This video will be dedicated specifically to the presentation of the second chapter of this book, which is the only one dealing with the problem of Hari in this monograph. So the problem of Hari seems evident. Hari is the description of an adjective or a noun describing the horses, those ashvas. That is all, nothing to think here, but not everything is not so simple. Why? Because when I have studied all the mentions of the word Hari in Rigveda, I have discovered that this term may denote not only ashvas but also bulls, and not just a few times, but quite many times. And once this very term describes even a lion, Simcha. So we have ashvas, we have bulls, Vresha, Vreshabhach, Vreshnych, and Simcha, lion. All of them are described as Hari. And what should we make of this? I consulted my good friend and an eminent Indo-European linguist from St. Petersburg, Igor Alexandrovich Tanayan-Belyaev. He has graduated from the St. Petersburg State University, where he studied philosophy and linguistics. And he helped me to understand the original meaning of the word Hari. According to him, this word originally meant Hari means originally an animal of lion's hue, of lion's color. Lion's skin color is brownish or yellowish, which is described as Hari, and the very word he derives it from the verb to roar, har. And firstly, the people who saw this animal, they called it roaring, Hari, and then they started to associate it with its skin color, and then the lion's color was transferred onto other animals of this skin color, different animals, bulls or some swift creatures, we don't know what, equids, maybe horses, maybe khurs, maybe kiangs, half-asses. All they are of a brownish yellowish color and can be described as Hari. So then I started to check all the meaning of them, all the references of this word in Rigveda. And what I have found out was surprisingly, because in Tatyana Yakovlevna Yelizarenskova's Russian academic translation of this text, 3 volumes of it, it was a great work of a great woman of Soviet Union and Russia. So but she was of course the product of the European invasionistic Indo-European studies. And she thought that Ashva is only horse and nothing more, and all mentions of Ashvas and as Haris corroborated, supported this idea. So she translated the word hari as the horse or a steed, even in the places where there was no the word ashva, only the word hari, without any mentions of ashva, and even without any mentions of horse tails, horse mane, and so on, that some features that can be described as the features specifically of the horse. So she just translated the word hari by two words mostly, like something in Russian it will be something like yellowish horse. Hari is yellowish horse. But it is not correct, and there are very many examples of such incorrect translation in her very good translation. I have counted only 156 cases when she translates hari as the horse of a specific hari color, without having the word horse in the text. I think that this is not scientific. I think that in these cases, judging by the fact that we have absolutely sure the descriptions of three kinds of animals as hari in Rigveda, those of ashvas, those of bulls, and one time of lion, all of them are haris. So what should we do? We should at least suppose that hari in these 156 cases, when there are no mentions of mane of the horse, tails of the horse, or hoofs of the horse, they can be translated not as the yellowish horse or brownish horse, but as a flaming horse, even such translation, but as the brownish lion, because a lion is also of the same skin color, the same as the horse, the same as the bull, the same as the kur, the same as K.i.н, and all these animals have the same color of the skin. Ranging from light brownish to yellowish, which can be described as hari. And I decided to check whether any other Indo-European traditions corroborate this possibility of interpretation of some of the hari mentions in Rigveda. Is it at all possible that Indra could have ridden not only the team of Ashvas called Haris, but also the team of lions called Haris? Is it at all possible? Again, it is revolutionary. So, but what have I discovered in other Indo-European traditions? Of course, I have discovered many numerous depictions of lions as drawing animals of other Indo-European gods. And Indo-Aryan tradition is the earliest of all recorded Indo-European traditions in the world. It should contain the very same patterns of religious images as in the other later, when comparing to it in the European traditions. I show you the illustrations for this chapter to show you how many and how various are the depictions of lions in the European traditions other than Rigveda. Firstly, I start from the photograph of Indian Equus hemionus khur. It is also a candidate to the prototype of Hari Ashva, because you see the skin color of the animal, and we know that this animal is very swift. It is swifter even than any horse. You can find it in its descriptions, in its scientific descriptions. It is very swift, and it, with all possibility, could be described as Hari and as Ashva also, the same as just horses. The second candidate to the prototype of the R, and by the way, there were many coarse bones found while excavating the settlements of Matiu Harappa in the Sindhu Valley. So he is a very probable candidate to RVedic Ashva. The second animal equally probable to be the candidate to the prototype of RVedic Ashva and Hari Ashva is the sub-Himalayan mountainous K.i.н. You see the difference between K.i.н and Khur, and the horse is very light. Only the tail is different. We have the mane, and the whole stature of the constitution of the body and the skin color are very, very much alike. So, but this is one of the probable candidates to Ashva and to Hari of the Rigveda. And this is the second. And what about lions? So we start from ancient Greek tradition. This is the marble relief from Delphi, one of the most sacred cities of ancient cities of all for all ancient Greeks. It is dated about 525 year BCE, and we hear the battle between the gods and the titans in Rigveda, and after it will be the battle between the Devas and Asuras. So we see the gods using the chariot in battle, and this chariot is drawn by lions. We see a lion attacking a titan. And here it is the drawing animal of the Greek gods. Closer, the same. There was a pause and I continue. So we see a clear picture of a lion. The second lion is here. It is poorly preserved, but it is still visible, of two lions drawing the chariot of the Greek gods, Olympian gods. One more photo of the same relief, and more close even, you see, very, very, lion's mane, the mane of the second lion, we see here. Next is the black-figured vessel from Athens. It's from the Yale University Art Gallery. It is dated by the first years of the 5th century BCE. And here we also have the depiction of a chariot drawn by several different animals. One of them is definitely a lion. Of course, this chariot is not a real one, because it's very difficult to yoke a lion into the chariot. Only some Roman emperors could do this, were able to do this for their parades. You should domesticate this very fierce animal to make it draw your chariot. But this is, of course, the chariot of the god, drawn by different animals, boars, and we see here lion. Very quickly, very clearly. Here, for example, you see the heads of the animals, and very clearly we see the lion's figure. Next. Next is the red-figured Greek vase from Vulci, Etruria, Italy. It is dated around the 3rd 100 BCE, And here we see the lion's chariot. The lions are drawing the chariot of Herod. Closer, the same. Undoubtedly, this is the lion chariot. Not only just lionesses or maybe panthers, but the lions themselves, because of their mane. We can tell it, we can state it. And the same, one more, griffins and lions, 2 griffins and 2 lions next to chariot. It is from Louvre. It is red-figured Greek vase from Louvre. So next example. Then we have a silver plate, or round silver plate, gilded, from Ai-Khanum, Alexandria upon Oxus in Bactria, Afghanistan, dated by the 2nd century BCE. And here we see the chariot drawn by 2 lions again, with golden manes. And then from the Greek traditions, these all were the examples of the Greek depictions of lions as drawing chariots of the gods in Greek mythology and religion. And now we come from the Greek tradition to the Roman tradition. We know from the Roman sources that Romans adopted the cult of the Anatolian goddess, sitting on the cart drawn by 2 lions. This Anatolian goddess is very ancient. It is even earlier than the Hittite kingdom, but still the Indo-Europeans who came to this region, they divinized this goddess and worshipped her. So, and Romans took over this cult of this goddess driving on lions and worshipped her also. I have found many silver coins dated by the year 78 BC, and here we can see those lions depicted as drawing her cart. She's sitting in a chariot, but not standing in it, but sitting on a special throne placed into the chariot. So it is a chariot, evidently, because we see that it is a true chariot, but a chariot with a throne of the goddess. It's her typical depiction. She is most often depicted as sitting on the special throne in the chariot drawn by 2 lions. So there are very many coins, silver coins of the same year of this kind. I just show it to you quickly. We see that these are lions, not panthers, not lionesses, so not female lions, but exactly male lions. Very good quality photos. They are from different museums all over the world, from different coin galleries, and so on. You see how numerous they are, only by this very year, only 1 year of Roman Republic history. So the cult was very strong for the Romans. The very same year. And now we come to a later type. This is the example of the golden Roman coin, dated by the year 43 BC, just before the appearance of the Roman Empire. And again the same very goddess. Now it is evidently already Roman goddess. And you see very beautiful pictures of lions as drawing her cart with a throne on it. There are also many gold coins of this kind, dated by this year, depicting these two lions. And now we come to other kinds of historical sources, to other kinds. This is the terracotta plate from relief from Italy, dated by the 1st century AD. It depicts the same goddess riding, sitting on. My neighbors are so noisy, so we had to stop and to continue again. So, terracotta relief from Italy, dated by the 1st century AD, with the same lion team, drawing the goddess's chariot. Then we have the bronze medal of Trajan Emperor, from Museo Archeologico Nazionale, Florence, National Archaeological Museum. Here we have the team of 4 lions driving the chariot of the emperor. Then the same kind of relief of. It's a kind of joke, but we had to stop again, so we are continuing our lecture. So we see the medal of Hadrian Emperor, dated by the year 127 or 128 AD, and we see here, not very clear but still visible, picture, a relief picture of 4 lions drawing a cart or a chariot. And again, this emperor, more a clearer picture of the same. And now we have a very beautiful silver plate from the ancient Roman cemetery of Parabiaggio in Milan, northern Italy, dated between 100 and 500 AD. And here we see a very exact and beautiful relief picture of the same lion quadriga, drawing the cart of the goddess. And again, and closer, very clear. Next we